Hey guys, hello, hello, hello. Okay, let me see here. I'm gonna look for my little co-host. Hi guys. As you're coming in, let us know where you're at. Hi guys. Okay. Today's Cosmic Tea. This is super, super exciting. What's up, Dr. Olivia Audrey?
Hey, can you see
Hi.
me? All the
Yes.
comments are on my face, so I can't really see myself, but
I don't
can,
know why it's doing that.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know if you want to go out and come back in. I've never seen that before.
No, it's okay. I kind of like them on my face. It's fine.
I actually can't really see them, so I don't know. It's interesting. They're like bouncing around.
Yeah, that's so weird. I
But
don't know.
we are
I
not
don't know.
surprised. We are not surprised. Guys, let us know where you're from. Let us know what you're up to. Today's Cosmic Tea, we're so excited about it. We are going to be going into twin flames, soulmates, cosmic flames, something that no one ever talks about, and actually just kind of
Mm,
clear it up. I think there's a lot of discrepancy around what a twin flame actually is and
so much.
soulmates. And we're going to be talking about the divine feminine, the divine masculine, and what's actually going on, and this epic rise in the awakened woman.
Yeah.
So I am so excited about this. So excited. We've actually been talking about this really all week.
Mm-hmm.
And we started talking about it in our Awakened Woman webinar, which if you guys missed it, we know we've been getting so many emails about the next one. We are going to be doing another one, so stay tuned. And the link will be in our bio. It might even be this weekend, so we will let you know. Olivia, I'm going to bounce it back to you. So for guys, for those of you that are new to us, I guess, I'm sorry, I'll share who I am. And then Olivia could do the same, and then we'll dive right into it. I am Melissa Catherine. I'm a holistic nutritionist, hypnotherapist. I am a body intuitive. I can see where energetic fissures occur in the body. I specialize in trauma healing, inner child work, and reprogramming the subconscious mind so that you return to wholeness, the limitless nature and unstoppable, beautiful being that you are through, working on nutrition, fitness, mindset, and spirituality. So that is me in a nutshell, author, speaker, all the things, podcaster. Check out the Wholeness Podcast. And we're here with Cosmic Tea, the girlfriend's guide to the universe. And Olivia, share with everybody your brilliance.
Hey everyone. So I'm Dr. Olivia Audrey. I'm a board certified doctor of natural medicine. I'm a speaker. I'm a 3-time best-selling author globally. And I am also the co-host of Cosmic Tea and the Awakened Woman Retreat, which is so interesting. So I've gotten personally so many messages about as soon as I posted that about the twin flame soulmate, people are really intrigued. And I started really digging into it. What are these misconceptions around what makes a twin flame and what makes a soulmate? Now, how many of you in here, you don't even have to say who it is, but how many of you in here have felt at some point in your life that you found your soulmate? And bearing in mind whether you're with that person, not with that person, be honest, because loads of us feel at certain times in our life like, oh, this is my person. This is the person I've been waiting for. And then that relationship continues on or it ends. And we think, oh, well, maybe that wasn't my soulmate. But the reality is it could have been. So soulmates are different versions of people that are meant to complement and augment your life and your life experience here on this earth. That can also be platonic friendships, though. Melissa, I know we've talked about this. People tend to think it's just romantic, and it's not.
No, it's not. And here's the thing, guys. I just want to say this. Oh my God, why is his name escaping me right now? We love him. Who's the love dude that we love? The love
Matthew Hussey.
Matthew Hussey.
Oh,
Matthew,
we
we
love
heart
Matthew
you.
Hussey.
We heart you know to no
Mm-hmm.
end. In fact, everybody here should follow Matthew Hussey.
Yes, you will
Um,
not be disappointed.
he's really great. And here's, so a few things that I just want to put out there. Please, for those of you that are like, and I know that I had this as well. I was actually, I share with you guys so openly about my life, probably too openly, and I need to like calm myself down. But I had shared with Olivia even the other day that, you know, it was hard for me for a bit because I actually thought like I missed out on the love of my life because I wasn't ready for him. And, you know, when he proposed, I was like, what? Like, I'm just not there. Like, I'm too young. I'm like, and he really was, you know, in many ways, like he was a soulmate. And I remember I had like intuitives that were like, oh no, that was your soulmate. And I'm like, and it almost like in a way of like, oh, you missed out. And I find, first off, as an intuitive, just to let you guys know, never let somebody make you feel bad. They are another human telling you things. Remember, it's always like that quote, you like, no one has the power to hurt you unless you give them that power. Mm-hmm. So really understand that when intuitives and things like that, like first off, nobody should have ever said that one. As an intuitive, like that's just something that, you know, it's kind of like, wait, what? But it was a story that I kind of held on to because it was a fear of mine of like, oh, did I miss out? Oh, especially when you have family members that are like, why aren't you married? We loved him. You should have married him. And then you're like, did I miss out on my person? Right? So here's the thing with soulmates is, you guys, there are thousands of people that could be your soulmate, that are your soulmate, depending on where you're at various times in your life. And as Olivia shared, we also have soul relationships, people that come into our lives. Who here has met somebody where you're like, they just know me. Like they just know me. They just get me. Like, I feel like I've known them forever. There's an ease to it. There's a familiarity. There's something that is like that soul connection. And here is the actual definition of a soulmate. It is your soul's counterpart. Now, when we look at a soulmate from a romantic standpoint, it is you have a soul contract. You have a soul mate relationship where it's actually two hearts that they would say, if you look at it, split, right? And this can happen into multiple fragments, right? Like thousands. And there can be those people where when you come together, there is that feeling of like, you complete me, right? In so many ways. Now, it's not that they're completing you. It's your soul's recognition of a counterpart in another, right? And that's what the soulmate is. So please don't think that you missed out if you weren't ready, or if it ended, or if you walked away, or if somebody cheated by some, like, you didn't miss out. That was an experience and a reason and a purpose to it. And sometimes soulmate relationships also have an expiration date. It doesn't always mean you're going to go to the end.
Absolutely. You know, and sort of a fundamental, universal, and spiritual truth is that what is for you will not pass you. It's impossible. So what is meant for you will not pass you by. It's just not how it works. There is no, oh my gosh, I missed the boat, I should have done that. No, everything is unfolding exactly how it's supposed to. So that's a fundamental spiritual truth that should make everything a little bit easier for you once you really understand that and adopt that. Twin flames, a little bit different. So twin flames can
let's get into those. Oh my,
so geez,
holy Hannah.
How many of you, without naming names, because let's all play nice in the sandbox together, have had a twin flame relationship? And you would know, because yeah, it'll be like the most challenging, the most often toxic relationship, whether that is in a friendship or whether that is in a romantic partnership. Typically, it's in a romantic partnership. So twin flames are different because, as Melissa said, it's not a compliment, it's a challenge. So it's more like so the origin of it, the theology is that you are the same soul, essentially, that you were split into two pieces. So what happens? That sounds really romantic, right? That sounds really like, oh my gosh, I want to find the other part of myself. Here's the catch. One part of you, let's just say this is you, let's just say this is your twin flame, and you both go off and you have different lifetimes, and throughout these different lifetimes you learn different lessons, and you either decide to evolve or not. And what happens quite often is that these two souls link back up in a lifetime, and one soul has done the work and the other soul has not, or not to the extent. So quite often these relationships can involve addiction, as Melissa said, like lots of infidelity. And it's literally about meeting. One person is typically in the seat of being more evolved, or we'll just say like more awakened, and the other is not. And it's a real bitch, because you're looking at somebody that feels like they should be everything that you want, but they're not there. So when you are in those relationships with that person and you find yourself going, but I see so much potential, why can't they just be, maybe if I gave them 5 more years, whatever. That is typically a twin flame connection. Very challenging. What they do is they show up and they mirror light parts of you, which is what causes you to bond. And then they mirror shadow parts of you. So the darkest parts of you. And we all have shadows, so don't even trip. And what happens is that then you do something called trauma bonding. And instead of making comparisons on all the things that you love, you start making comparisons through all the things that you have been through that are bad. Like, oh, I grew up in an abusive childhood. You grew up in an abusive childhood, and neither one of us has done the work, or only I've done the work. So let me go back and heal your childhood for you. Oh, I don't have an issue with alcohol, but you do. So here, I'm stronger. Let me heal that for you. Here's the thing. You can't fix anyone else. The only thing you can do is light up the dark and illuminate yourself, and other people will either follow that and emulate that, or they won't. But what happens with a twin flame is you get so engrossed in those positive aspects of yourself. You feel like you're meeting those positive aspects of yourself that then you go, oh, well, they must be my person. So that's why you have these relationships where people are like, fight like cats and dogs, but they can't seem to separate. And you look at them and you're like, what are you doing? And it doesn't make sense to the outside world. That's typically a twin flame or a karmic relationship. Super intense, but 2 out of 5 stars would not recommend. If you're looking for something that's evolved, honestly, because this relationship will totally challenge you. And I'm not saying that there's not benefit in that, because every time you go through a challenge, you are gaining something that you wouldn't have, a component of yourself, had you not gone through the challenge, right? But if you are looking for a relationship and you've done all the work on yourself and you've maybe had a couple of those, I think it's really important to recognize the difference between the two and not confuse a twin flame for a soulmate. What do you think, Melissa?
Yeah, I can. Well, here's the other one with twin flames, ladies. Just gonna put it out there.
The sex is great.
Is you will feel like you can't keep your hands off them. Mm-hmm. You will be attracted to every aspect in a way, and the familiarity and the chemistry is what will confuse you from knowing that, oh, this person gets me, to like, this is my person. It will feel so familiar. You will feel so turned on, lit up. You will feel like they get you, they get your body in a way where you're like, I've never had sex that good. Like, I've never had this that good. And it will confuse you, because you'll go, but like, it has to be because I've never felt this way about somebody before. It has to be because my attraction, my chemistry, the way the highs are so high, and when I'm not with them, I feel it, and I'm thinking about them nonstop. It will trigger an aspect of you that is not a pretty aspect, meaning it will be a part of you that is anxious. It will be a part of you that is like, if you look at yourself, you would go, I feel like I've totally lost who I am. Like, I started off strong, but somewhere in there, like, I completely lost myself, and I showed up like I normally would have never let somebody talk to me that way, or I would never let somebody treat me that way, or I would never let somebody cancel on me last minute, or, whatever. And all of a sudden you're lowering your standards, and you're sitting there making all these concessions. And the whole notion around it will be, well, no, it's because I've never felt this way. And therefore, like, you will feel like you're under a spell, in so many words.
Yeah.
And it will confuse you because your inner being, your soul is like, no, there's something special here. Like, this is my person. And you will look back and it will still, even when you meet your soulmate, and you can even be married and still look back and be like, but there's that one person that really got me. And that's what's hard about it, because there will be something where you feel like, I just can't let this go. And it is mentally confusing, and it's heart confusing. Yeah.
And the thing about that I think is important to understand biologically is that when men and women have sex, so when you have sex with your partner as a woman, your oxytocin levels, and we've talked about this before, your oxytocin levels, which is that feel good, it's actually the hormones that make a mother bond with her child. And it's all of those things that make you bond to someone, right? So biochemically, it's that like animal part of us. Our oxytocin level raises and bonds with the biochemical compounds of our sexual partner for 30 days. 30 days, lady. You just bought yourself a 30-day subscription to Joe Dirt. I don't know, like whatever. And so what happens is that even as your oxytocin level begins to decrease over the course of 30 days, every text, hey, beautiful, every kiss, every date, like it goes, it's decline, and then boop, oxytocin. And it really does this for 30 days or however long the relationship lasts. Men, their oxytocin level raises for 30 minutes. So it's a really interesting thing to note that specifically, I'm not being sexist, but specifically women, you may find it much, much harder to detox from your twin flame on a sexual level than you would if you were a man. And that's just science. That's not me being
and
like,
that's not just your twin flame, ladies. This is men.
This
like
is anyone.
This is when you have sex in general. So always know, if you're trying to get over somebody and you go and have sex,
do not sleep with
you
them.
have just set yourself back for about 13 days of really being like, I cannot stop thinking about them. I feel like I need to be with them. And 13 days is just like, that's on the lower end. It really like can go in up to 21, up like, right? Like it's like,
well, our oxytocin levels raise for 30 days. So that's like, yeah, I mean, that's just biology. So that's important to understand. Yeah, as Melissa said, whether it's twin flame or whether it's just somebody that you're trying to like break things off with, do not sleep with them. And that's not just like
you will. And not only that, let's be honest here, like breaking up and then being that person that then goes back and then ends up like there's just like just in general, you're just losing that respect and that footing. Like keep the line and just know when you go back, like they're fine next day. It's you that's
they're fine 30 minutes later.
Yeah, like they're like you're like cuddle with me, and they're like, I'm like good. I could like roll or like, could we just like what, you know?
Yeah.
So that's the primary difference. Now, you know, let's get into with what's going on in terms of, or was there more you wanted to say there, Liz?
No, I was just, you know, I think it's important, and this is like, you know, we're not trying to come for any of you, but I love the hearts. Thank you so much. We're not trying to come for any of you guys, but this is the girlfriend's guide to the universe. Like, we're going to break it down. And this is the same advice that we would give you if you were sitting on the couch with us right now. And it's not just a bad idea. It's like, here are all the reasons. And also your divinity is in that sexual exchange. Like that's a much bigger deal than we give it credit for. There is no such thing as casual sex. There is no such thing as casual sex. You can tell yourself that. And you can feel that, but you're exchanging energy. You're exchanging atomic particles with another human being. You're taking theirs on, they're taking yours on. So that's actually a really big deal. So the whole
and you're
notion,
letting them into
yeah,
a sacred space. Like I mean, listen, guys, I know it's all about, okay, well, I need it too. Great. There's a lot of ways and other things that you can do, which we can always talk about. But you know, it is one of those things where it's not like, oh my God, don't, you know, just like, but really recognizing, because I have, you know, and Liv as well, where we get a lot of questions around like, oh, and relationships and sex and well, you know, and then I ended up going back and then now I can't. And then especially if you just took so long to get over somebody and you just started feeling like yourself again and you're feeling strong, trust me, you know, when you notice and you're like, why is it when I'm over them or why is it when I'm feeling good, all of a sudden they reach out because they feel the energetic shift. Men are more energetic than women. They feel it all and they know when you have disconnected and they will reach back out energetically through people. And it's up to you to go, I am guarding myself and what's best for me and what I need. So if you know that you want children and that person doesn't, or you're like, hey, we were in something committed and you cheated on me. It's like, really ask yourself, is it worth it to go back into that vein? Like, how much, like, is it really worth it? And really recognizing, so the sacred exchange. So going into this, right now is such an epic time to be a woman. It is so cool.
It's so good.
Like your soul picked this time to be on this planet for a very specific reason. We just went through like all the Me Too and all the things. And there was such an imbalance in the 80s and women being like, I need to be a man in order to get my voice heard. And then in the 90s and honestly in 2000s, it was like men being like, I don't even know where I fit here because now women are starting to make more than men. And now there's more women in the workplace. And now, and listen, it's all like balancing. There's still a lot as women that we get to do and we're still positioning. But right now, it's really, and I'll go briefly, then I want to hand the mic over. It's really this awesome time where it's starting to balance, where you really saw like the last like decade, it was kind of like, where are the alpha men? Like, where did the men go? Like, it's great that they're more in touch with their feelings over here, but like at the same time, like it's almost, and you've got men going like, okay, well, I want to be a man, but I'm constantly emasculated. Totally get that, honor that. Allison Armstrong, your work is unprecedented, right? Or unparalleled, I'll say. And then there's also, you know, women just going like, okay, so there's this empowerment around women getting to be women. Women getting to own the power of the feminine. This isn't about us needing to put on suits and not show emotion and act like we have balls in order to be in a man's world. This is like, no, we're in a woman's world. But I was sharing also too that we don't want to take the role of men out and be like, yeah, we don't need men. We can have babies. We make all our own money. Like, yeah, we do. And that's awesome. Yay. Like, trust me, I freaking love it. I'm doing it. Right. And I can also say we want men. We want men around. Yeah. Like, we need men, whether you're into men or you're into women or you're into all of the other, like everything and anything, doesn't matter. Then in order for us to restore masculine and feminine, and for us to all be in that epic space of the receptivity and the giving and the receiving and the equilibrium of what's happening or what really would be good to happen, it's for us now to go like, okay, this isn't about me needing to be something other. This is actually about me owning the power of the divine feminine. And that's, I get to create a lot by being a woman, by being in my power, by recognizing that I don't need to effort the way men do in other ways, that asking for support, that allowing them to support me and give to me actually gives them this surge of power as well to show up even more powerfully. And it allows me to show up more powerfully. Right? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Totally. So, you know, I think that there's been a trade-off, or there's been this belief of a trade-off where if a woman steps fully into her power, then she needs to, as you said, masculate herself. And then if a man is with a woman who's stepping into her power, you know, then is somehow threatened by that. But it's actually just the complement. It's the augmentation of both of them. So it's exchange of power, right? So how does it go? When a woman becomes a man's weakness and a man becomes a woman's strength, it's called exchange of power. So that's the perfect dynamic in the relationship, is that she allows him to be soft and he allows her to be strong, and that they can lend and exchange those characteristics with each other. Part of that is sorting and sifting through what issues, to be honest, that you might have about being a woman. And if you're born at this time, you're gonna go through some of them. That's just the reality. If your soul chose to be born on this earth at this time, there's going to be something that you are not forced, you don't have to, but that you are presented to filter through. So part of the awakening process is identifying with, who am I as a woman? That's really what we are going to help women accomplish with the Awaken Woman Retreat, is that we're going to allow women this safe space to discover and unfold and be surrounded by this beautiful sisterhood of other women. And it's not about eliminating men out of the picture, as you said, because we love men. It's about allowing her to stay in her power and boosting her up into that. And that, when you have an awakened woman and you have, the divine masculine, that's the ultimate power couple. That's the ultimate, like, best friend relationship that you can have, where the person just is your counterpart. And I think that that's kind of what everybody wants. Like, I've never met anybody that's like, oh, I really want to be dominated in a relationship. I really want to be like, I just don't think that that's how most people start out. You might not have the details of like specifically what you want in a relationship, but you know how you want to feel, right? You want to feel honored. You also want to feel in your own power. You also want to feel independent but supported by that cradle of the relationship. And so how you do that is you individually awaken. We help you with the female part, and then you collectively converge with your counterpart. So that's really what the divine feminine means in terms of waking up and in terms of being awakened to me and to us.
That was so beautifully said and so spot on, guys. If you're resonating with what we're saying and you're like, I am awakened, I'm ready to find I'm an empress and I'm ready for my king, and I am wanting to really get clear on my purpose, and I want to connect with other women in this way, right? COVID, I just heard messages today from some of the women coming to the retreat that are like, I'm so excited for this. With COVID, it's been really isolating. I'm really like excited to be around other people that are up to big things, and just to be immersed in that and in the excitement and the energy and what we get to bring to it. We really want to invite you to be a part of the Awaken Woman Retreat. It is taking place in Jupiter, Florida. You just fly right into West Palm Beach. It's amazing here. It's sunny. It's gorgeous. September 24th through the 26th. All of the details. Liv, do you have the link?
You know what? 2 seconds. BRB.
Okay. Oh, thank you. I was like, I will go get this, but at the same time, it's on my channel, so I'm like, shoot.
Oh, I got it.
Thank you.
I got
guys,
it. Here we go.
Please, we now have, every time we do a live, we end up getting more people signing up. So we have 7 spots left. There's only 7 spots, which is crazy and awesome. So please, let us know. It's going to be epic. It's going to be amazing. We are doing a lot of really cool things. And this is for the woman that's awakened. This is for the woman that's awakened. If you might be going, well, how do I know? And like, what is that? It's, you're going, I'm ready for more. I want to rock out the next 5 months of 2021. I want to go into 2022 with a bang. There are big things and changes that I want in my life, and I want support and guidance. What happens in a 3-day retreat is the equivalent of being in like a 6-month intensive of work, doing deep work. This does not mean like you're going into like a dark and you have to but this does mean like at the same time, it means breaking through blocks, being held to the highest vision. We're both intuitive and we'll be able to see, and we're going to be doing readings. We're doing this awesome, moon ritual. And if you're like, what is all this stuff? Like, come and find out. It's an intimate group. It's an awesome, incredible, inspiring group, and it's going to be an absolute blast. You will have you will walk away for like transformed in the best of ways, lit up, vibrating so high, and having a whole new group of friends that you've opened up to, that you probably will open up to more than like your childhood best friends.
You know what is also what I've been hearing a lot is that people are bringing a friend, or they're bringing a sister, or they're actually, I have a client who's coming and bringing her mom, and her and her mom have always, her and her mom have always had kind of a difficult relationship. So they're going to have this like breakthrough experience together. So moms, bring your daughters. This is the ultimate bonding experience. Daughters, bring your moms, you know, friends, like it's going to be such a powerful experience that you can, of course, share that with somebody. And then you have that, talk about oxytocin bonds. They're going to be flying all over the room. So it's going to be just a really incredible experience. We grow every time that we help other people grow. So it's just as exciting and immersive for us as well. And
this is our first in person with COVID.
Yeah.
I'm really, really excited. So if you're feeling called and you're like, I've been wanting to go to something, then and you're like, oh my God, like I've been saying I want to go to something, grab your girlfriend, hop on a plane, we're close, and get ready for a life-changing, in the best of ways weekend. Yeah, and Liv, you put the link below, right?
I did, yeah.
Awesome. And guys, it's also on Liv's, in her links on her Instagram, and it's also on mine as well. And you can also just DM us any questions, and we are happy to answer them for you. And we're just so honored to be here with you every week.
It's going to be such a wonderful time. Melissa, I'm so honored to share space with you. I love you so much. I love all of you that are watching and making this so amazing as well. We're so grateful.
And we will see you next week for Cosmic Tea. I think same time for.
I think so.
Yeah, and we will let you know if that changes. But thank you for being here. Let us know any questions. We hope this resonated. I know it seemed like a lot of you were like, yeah, we know what's going on. So always know you can send us questions, and we just adore you and are just so honored. And we will see you with next week's Cosmic Tea, Girlfriend's Guide to the Universe, where we'll be diving in even deeper to awakening, what it means, and the steps in the process, in guiding you towards rocking out 2021 with a bang.
We love you so much. Take care, Melissa Catherine. I love you. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.